Welcome back. We have another program of SCLC today. Thank you so much for all of the positive feedbacks we're getting. You know, we try to be factual. We come to the point. We don't take too much of your time. Talking about time, let's get right to it. I was in the company of none other than the Honorable Miss Xernona Clayton, who worked with Dr. King for many of years. I was with her along with the First Lady of SCLC, my wife, and other people from the congregation and special guests with Bishop Bowman, Bishop Jack Bowman, who is the new pastor of Hillside, where Bishop Dr. Barbara King was there for many of years. Hillside International Church. Man, did we have a time. Talk to you later. I want to bring out a point. A very discriminatory comment was made by none other than U.S. Senator John Kennedy. U.S. Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. And talking about the United States Supreme Court appointment by none other than our current president, President Joe Biden. Can you imagine a U.S. Senator, sitting U.S. Senator, in the person of Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, making a statement, and I call it an abomination, making a statement in terms of whoever the black female appointee will be to the U.S. Supreme Court by President Joe Biden, wouldn't know the difference from a J. Crew catalog and a law book. Wouldn't know the difference between a J. Crew catalog and a law book. Ladies and gentlemen, how can we progress and improve upon our race relationships building in terms of where we're supposed to go and coming together? Because God created all of us equally in his own image. His own image, that means black, white, green, or blue, polka dot, whatever. That's his image. And to have someone to subvert and try to intimidate and dehumanize another race, an agenda of a race, is abomination. It's a shame and disgrace upon the institution or whatever this U.S. Senator represents. I won't dignify the name no more. Whatever this U.S. Senator represents. Let's move on. I was with Miss Xernona Clayton, the Honorable Xernona Clayton, this morning with my wife and others. And we were one of the special guests in terms of this morning's service at Hillside International Church, formerly co-founded, I should say founded, not co-founded, but founded by none other than Bishop Dr. Barbara King, who was a very good friend to SCLC. And now she has made her transition. Wow, do we miss her. We have made so many upward progressions in having a relationship with Hillsdale International Center, that she globally represented the work of Dr. King and God throughout this world. She has been recognized for many, many of her accomplishments, and we just want to recognize her in her spirit. But it has been conveyed to none other, another great bishop. That's Bishop Jack, as we call the great leader in his own right, Bishop Jack Bowman, who's doing a magnificent job at Hillsdale International Center. I love that church. They are so spiritual oriented. And I was there this morning, and guess who the guest speaker was? None other than the honorable, ladies and gentlemen, the queen of the city, of the state, of the nation, none other than Mr. Xernona Clayton, very good friend of ours. And she worked so closely with Dr. King. Let me tell you one of the aspects of where she impacted me and others within the congregation. I was moved when she said that Dr. King's sons held on to him when he was making his last trip to go to Memphis, because she was picking him up. Mrs. King was a little bit under the weather. So Miss Clayton, being the lady that she is and was at that time, had to take him to the airport. She said, and when I saw the two boys, Dr. King's boys, saying, Daddy, we don't want you to go. You know, that male imagery of saying, Daddy, don't go. So spiritually, I'm thinking that was within Dexter and Martin's heart, and how God was working with them as well as Dr. King. They just didn't feel right, because that was the last time that they would see him alive. And then she went on and talked about how Dr. King just stood for what was right. When he won the Nobel Peace Prize, got a nice piece of monetary reward, but he gave it away. He gave it away. And she talked about how SCLC always struggled for money. How well do I know? Struggling for money. I've been here right at 16 years soon to be. We struggle every day. But like Dr. King and myself, we pray to God. In some kind of way, we meet payroll. It's not an easy job. But she was saying how the money dried up when he took those stands. And particularly when he opposed the Vietnam War, how all of the money just dried up. And he was killed for two reasons. One was his opposition to the Vietnam War. And the other one was the Poor People Campaign. Dr. King felt that all Americans should be independently supported by this government by ensuring a check every month that would bring about a quality of life for all God's children, not just for a few, not just for a small percentage, but all of us should be able to have a quality of life and a guaranteed income. That's what he died for. And that was the Poor People Campaign. And we're still here with the Poor People Campaign. And I just want to thank Miss Xernona Clayton, because as I sat there and was listening to her, having the first-hand experience, I'm in the position for 15 and a half, 16 years, but I didn't have that type of experience. I only had the opportunity to really meet Dr. King and shake his hand twice, but be in his presence 3 times. The first time I ever met him was at Cobo Arena in Detroit, Michigan. I was about 14, 15 years of age. And my cousin in Detroit, because I would go to Detroit every summer, and the Temptations were singing, and Dr. King was speaking. Man, let me say that again. The Temptations were singing, and Dr. King was the speaker at Cobo Arena in Detroit. And my cousin Tom Hunter Sr., carried me all the way up to the front line, as that line was so long. He's telling everyone, excuse me, my cousin got to meet Dr. King. Excuse me, my cousin got to meet Dr. King. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my first time. Not in Alabama, where I'm from, but it was Detroit, Michigan. And then I met him again in Alabama and once in Atlanta. But I shook his hand twice. And my wife talked about when she shook his hand in Greene County, when her father made it a point for her to get in front of the line. That was before I even knew her. And she said she had the opportunity to shake his hand. So to listen to those stories from Miss Clayton, I just want to say thank you, Miss Clayton. And don't forget, we're coming up on March the 3rd through the 6th, Selma, Alabama. Get ready. We'll talk more about that next week. Selma, Alabama. We're going all the way this time with United Front, with several organizations working together. And I want to thank my friend, Senator Hank Sanders, and his lovely wife, Fire Rose, Attorney Rose Sanders, as well, for keeping this dream alive. I got a story to tell you about how Dr. King got his speech on I Have a Dream. You know what? I'll tell you that next week. Have a great day. Godspeed upon you.